You are not looking at a random health pattern here. You are looking at a body that is intelligent, reactive, proud, sensitive, and brutally honest. Jessica's chart does not show a weak constitution. It shows a constitution that can perform, endure, recover, and fight, but only when life is disciplined. The moment routine collapses, food timing becomes messy, sleep becomes irregular, emotions get swallowed, and stress is normalized, the body starts speaking. And it does not whisper. It speaks through digestion, throat, hormones, nerves, skin, sleep, and inflammation. This is a Leo rising chart, so the body is solar. It wants dignity, it wants strength, it wants rhythm, it wants to feel and command. But here's the catch. The Lagna Lord's sun goes into the 6th house. That means health is not a side topic in Jessica's life. Health is a karmic assignment. The 6th house is disease, discipline, service, stress, hygiene, daily work, immune function, gut correction, adrenal pressure, and the body's ability to fight back. When the sun goes there, the person cannot live casually. The body demands structure. If you ignore the body, it becomes your enemy. If you discipline the body, it becomes your weapon. So the first bold statement is this. Jessica's health improves when her routine improves. Not when she worries more. Not when she reads more health content. Not when she punishes herself. It improves when she builds a clean, repeated, grounded daily rhythm. The dominant dosha picture is Vata Pitta disturbance with selective kapha accumulation. This is important. Vata means nerves, movement, dryness, anxiety, irregularity, sleep disturbance, gas, bloating, depletion, and instability. Pitta means heat, acidity, inflammation, sharpness, anger, burning, liver pressure, skin eruptions, ulcers, and hormonal heat. Kapha shows up as heaviness, water retention, mucus, sweet cravings, sluggishness, lymphatic congestion, and emotional attachment to comfort. In Jessica's case, Vata agitates the system. Pitta burns the system. Kapha gets stuck when she tries to soothe herself through comfort, food, sugar, sleep, or withdrawal. That is the health triangle. Now look at the 2nd house. This is where the chart becomes loud. Moon, Mars, and Saturn are sitting in Virgo in the 2nd house. This is a major health signature. The 2nd house rules food, eating habits, mouth, tongue, teeth, throat, voice, face, eyes, like taste, thyroid axis, speech, and how nourishment enters the body. So, when 3 major planets sit here, the body is saying watch what you eat, watch how you speak, watch what you swallow emotionally, watch the throat, watch the teeth, watch the digestion that begins in the mouth. Moon in the 2nd makes food emotional. Taste becomes emotional. Eating becomes connected with mood. Water retention, food sensitivity, digestive fluctuation, emotional eating, and comfort eating can become patterns. The moon is absorbent. It absorbs the atmosphere. It absorbs the emotional tone of the home. It absorbs stress through food. So if Jessica eats while worried, angry, rushed, or emotionally hurt, the body does not just digest food, it digests the emotion with the food. Mars in the 2nd brings heat. This can create acidity, mouth ulcers, gum inflammation, dental sensitivity, sharp hunger, inflammatory digestion, heat in speech, eye strain, headaches, and skin reactions from food. Mars here can make speech cutting under pressure. The person may say the truth sharply or suppress anger until it burns inside. Both are harmful. Harsh speech burns relationships. Suppressed speech burns the throat and gut. Saturn in the 2nd brings dryness, restriction, chronicity, and delay. Saturn here can show dry mouth, dental issues, jaw tension, delayed dental care, constipation tendencies, throat constriction, and thyroid or metabolic slowness, restricted eating patterns, fear around money or food security, and speech that becomes heavy, guarded, or withheld. Now put Moon, Mars, and Saturn together. This is not soft. This is emotional sensitivity plus heat plus restriction. That creates a pressure cooker. She can feel deeply, react sharply, and then shut down. She may alternate between too much and saying nothing. The body may convert that into throat tension, acidity, constipation, mouth ulcers, jaw clenching, and nervous digestion. Virgo makes this even more precise. Virgo is the sign of health, analysis, correction, service, details, digestion, and nervous sensitivity. So the mind watches everything. The mind notices everything. The mind criticizes, corrects, compares, improves, and worries. This can make Jessica excellent at practical work, healing, service, analysis, and problem solving. But health-wise, Virgo can turn the body into a battlefield of overthinking. One symptom becomes a theory. One discomfort becomes a pattern. One mistake becomes guilt. The gut hears all of it. The moon is in Hasta. Hasta is skilled, practical, hand-oriented, controlled, intelligent, capable. It wants to manage life. It wants to hold life in the hands. But the shadow is control. The body may hold stress in the hands, shoulders, jaw, throat, stomach, and breath. Jessica may feel better when she is doing something useful, but worse when she has to sit with unprocessed emotion. Now move to the 6th house. Sun and retrograde Mercury are in Capricorn in the 6th. This is the work stress health axis. Capricorn adds duty, responsibility, time pressure, seriousness, structure, career burden, and delayed relaxation. The Sun in the 6th says, I must fight, I must serve, I must prove, I must function. Mercury retrograde in the 6th says, I must analyze, I must think, I must solve, I must review, I must correct. That creates a powerful but dangerous health pattern. Overfunctioning. Jessica may not collapse because she is lazy. She may collapse because she continues functioning long after the nervous system has asked for rest. The body may tolerate pressure for a long time and then suddenly express it through digestion, skin, sleep, acidity, lower back, immune dips, or adrenal fatigue. Mercury rules nerves, skin, speech, thought process, hands, throat, rational mind, and the gut-brain loop. Retrograde in the 6th can show nervous digestion, health anxiety, overanalysis of symptoms, IBS-like tendencies, skin reactions from stress, work-related nervous exhaustion, and routines that get disrupted by mental overload. This is the person who may know what to do but still get trapped in cycles of thinking instead of regulating. Sun in the 6th brings pitta pressure. It gives the ability to fight disease, but also the tendency to inflame through duty, pride, and overwork. Acidity, heat, feverish conditions, headaches, eye strain, heart-spine vitality issues, and burnout can show when the Sun is overused. So the raw truth is this: Jessica's body is not asking her to become more intense, it is asking her to become more rhythmic. Now, the 5th house has Venus and Ketu in Sagittarius. This is another major health zone. The 5th house rules digestion, stomach, liver, gallbladder, spleen, pancreas, reproductive hormones, memory, creativity, and the central abdomen. Venus rules reproductive organs, kidneys, bladder, urinary tract, sugar, pleasure, beauty, refinement, hormones, and the body's sensual nourishment. Ketu reduces, cuts, dries, detaches, spiritualizes, and creates deficiency or irregularity. Venus with Ketu in the 5th can create digestive hormonal depletion. This can show as hormonal irregularity, reproductive sensitivity, libido fluctuation, urinary or bladder issues, kidney sensitivity, sugar sensitivity, pancreatic stress, liver gallbladder imbalance, vitamin or mineral depletion, and intolerance to foods that are too heavy, refined, sweet, dairy-heavy, or processed. This combination can also create a strange emotional pattern, wanting comfort but not digesting comfort well, wanting love but withdrawing when overwhelmed, wanting sweetness but being disturbed by sugar, wanting pleasure but feeling detached from the body. This is not just physical, it is emotional digestion. Jessica must understand this. Digestion and hormones are not separate in this chart. The gut, liver, pancreas, reproductive hormones, emotional memory, and pleasure response are tied together. When she is emotionally depleted, the digestion may weaken. When digestion is disturbed, mood and hormones may fluctuate. When sugar becomes the emotional medicine, the body pays the bill later. Rahu in Gemini in the 11th house adds nervous overstimulation. The 11th house relates to circulation, calves, ankles, networks, gains, social circles, and desire fulfillment. Rahu amplifies. Rahu wants more. Gemini wants information, communication, messages, social input, media, screens, analysis, and mental movement. So, Rahu in Gemini can overstimulate the nervous system through information overload. This can show as anxiety from screen exposure, restless sleep, scattered attention, social comparison, overthinking conversations, nervous breathing, circulation irregularity, calf or ankle tension, blood pressure spikes under stress, skin reactions from toxins, and addictive loops around scrolling, checking, messaging, or mental stimulation. This placement says, too much information becomes a toxin. Too much social noise becomes a health issue. Too much digital stimulation disturbs sleep, hormones, digestion, and emotional regulation. Jupiter in Libra in the 3rd house brings another layer. The 3rd house rules arms, hands, shoulders, neck, hearing, communication, stamina, collarbones, and effort. Jupiter brings kapha, sweetness, expansion, fat tissue, liver, gallbladder, stomach, lymph, circulation, and abundance. In Libra, it adds relational sweetness, diplomacy, social balance, and taste. Health-wise, it can increase sweet cravings, upper body heaviness, neck-shoulder tension, lymphatic congestion, ear or hearing sensitivity, and rich food indulgence. Because Jupiter also connects digestion and deeper transformation zones in this chart, sugar and rich foods can quietly become a bridge between liver, hormones, digestion, and circulation. This is not a chart that should casually overuse sweets, refined foods, heavy dairy, or late-night comfort eating. Now, the Panchanga confirms the health story beautifully. Jessica is born on Krishna Panchami. Krishna Panchami is a waning lunar energy of detox, instinctive wisdom, cleansing, memory, and craving. This is a body that needs periodic simplification. It benefits from gentle detox, not extreme detox, warm, simple food, digestive reset, emotional cleansing, letting go of old residue. But the shadow is compulsive craving, so she may know what is good for her and still reach for the food, comfort, pattern, person, or habit that gives temporary relief but long-term imbalance. Friday birth strengthens Venus, so Venus becomes a healing key and a vulnerability. Beauty heals, music heals, softness heals, love heals, art heals, gentle food rituals heal. But Venus also brings sugar, indulgence, refined foods, hormonal pleasure patterns, urinary issues, reproductive sensitivity, and attachment to comfort. With Venus joined Ketu, she must learn refined pleasure without depletion, beauty without addiction, sweetness without sugar dependency, love without losing the body. Hasta Nakshatra shows hands, skill, control, practical ability, and healing through touch. This means Jessica may benefit from hand-based grounding, massage, oil application, mudra, cooking consciously, writing by hand, gardening, craft, bodywork, and slow tactile practices. Her hands can regulate her nervous system. Then comes Shulam Yoga, the spear, the spike, the sharp edge. This is a serious Panchanga marker. It gives penetration, courage, directness, and the ability to cut through illusion. But health-wise, it can show sharp symptoms, stabbing pain, acidity, inflammation, surgical indications if repeated elsewhere, sharp speech, sharp emotional reactions, sharp self-criticism, and conflicts stored in the body. So the instruction is clear: reduce sharpness, reduce sharp foods, reduce sharp words, reduce sharp overwork, reduce sharp self-judgment, reduce the need to live like every day is an emergency. Now, what are the main health outcomes? First, gut-brain-throat axis issues. This is the strongest. Acidity, bloating, constipation, food sensitivity, mouth ulcers, dental issues, throat tightness, thyroid sensitivity, nervous digestion, skin flare-ups, and eating linked to emotional state. This must be watched. Second, hormonal and reproductive sensitivity. Venus Ketu in the 5th can show irregular reproductive rhythm, libido inconsistency, urinary sensitivity, kidney bladder weakness, sugar-linked hormonal disturbance, vitamin mineral depletion, and digestive hormonal feedback loops. Third, nervous system overload. Virgo moon, Mercury retrograde in the 6th, Rahu in Gemini. This is anxiety, insomnia, jaw clenching, screen overstimulation, restlessness, shoulder-neck tension, and a mind that does not switch off easily. Fourth, Pitta inflammation. Sun and Mars are strong in health-sensitive zones. Acidity, heat, rashes, ulcers, headaches, anger-related symptoms, liver heat, irritated eyes, and inflammatory reactions are possible when the body overheats. Fifth, Vata dryness and depletion. Saturn and Ketu are strong. Dry throat, constipation, anxiety, insomnia, cracking joints, fatigue, mineral depletion, dry skin, hormonal dryness, and nervous exhaustion can show when routine breaks. So what should Jessica do? The diet must be warm, cooked, regular, anti-inflammatory, and Vata-Pitta balancing. Not cold, not extreme, not punishment-based. Warm cooked meals, soups, stews, khichdi-style simplicity, cooked vegetables, moderate ghee if suitable, adequate protein, cumin, coriander, fennel, gentle turmeric, warm water, simple meals, earlier dinner, stronger lunch, no heavy late-night eating. Reduce excessive chili, fried foods, refined sugar, cold smoothies, iced drinks, alcohol, excess coffee, packaged snacks, sour heavy foods, emotional snacking, and screen eating. Especially avoid eating during arguments or when angry. For Jessica, anger eaten with food becomes acidity. Worry eaten with food becomes bloating. Sadness eaten with food becomes heaviness. Supplements should not be random. Test first. Consider checking vitamin D, B12, ferritin, CBC, thyroid panel, fasting glucose, HbA1c, liver enzymes, kidney function, lipid profile, and reproductive hormones if symptoms exist. Magnesium may support nerves, sleep, muscles, and constipation tendencies if medically suitable. Omega-3 may support inflammation. Zinc may support immunity, skin, taste, mouth, and hormones. But iodine, iron, hormone support, and strong herbs should never be taken blindly. Lifestyle is the real medicine here. Sleep discipline is non-negotiable. Digital stimulation must reduce at night. Meal timing must stabilize. Breathwork must become regular. Walking is powerful. Gentle strength training is good. Yoga, mobility, Pilates-style controlled movement, and stretching for neck, shoulders, lower back, calves, and ankles are useful. Avoid punishment exercise. Avoid overheated workouts when inflamed. Avoid late-night intense workouts. Avoid training while underfed or emotionally burnt out. The emotional remedy is just as important. Jessica's body cannot keep swallowing anger, worry, and responsibility. The chart shows the sentence. I must hold it together even when I am burning inside. That sentence is dangerous. It creates throat pressure, gut heat, nervous exhaustion, hormonal disruption, and sleep disturbance. The healing sentence must become, I can be disciplined without being harsh. I can be strong without being tense. I can be useful without abandoning my body. That is the whole reading. Jessica's chart is not telling her to fear health. It is telling her to respect the body's intelligence. The body is precise. The body is responsive. The body is spiritual in its own raw way. It will not tolerate emotional dishonesty, chaotic food, late nights, overstimulation, sugar dependency, and suppressed anger forever. The final verdict is simple. Jessica's health improves through rhythm, nervous system regulation, digestive discipline, sugar control, emotional honesty, and reduced sharpness. Less intensity, more rhythm, less criticism, more repair, less overstimulation, more embodied calm, less punishment, more intelligent discipline. And if you are listening to this and recognizing yourself in this pattern, the gut that reacts before the mind admits stress, the throat that tightens when words are swallowed, the hormones that shift with emotion, the sleep that breaks when life becomes too noisy, then this is exactly why a personal health and wellness reading matters. Because your body is not random. Your symptoms are not random. Your cravings are not random. Your stress pattern is not random. Your chart shows where the body stores pressure, where the doshas go out of balance, which planets are triggering the pattern, and what kind of routine can bring you back into alignment. Get in touch with me for a detailed health and wellness reading, one that reads your chart, your doshas, your planetary placements, your panchanga, and your real-life patterns together, so you can stop guessing and start working with the body you actually have.